Every app has some benefit, and that's the problem. So how do you decide which apps, tools, or social media platforms actually deserve a place in your life and business? If you are like most people, you probably use the any benefit approach. This is the belief that you are completely justified in using a tool if you can find any possible benefit to it, or anything you might miss out on by not using it. You say, I need to be on Twitter because I might connect with a client once a year. Or, I need this messenger app because my team can reach me instantly. But this approach is financially and mentally ruinous. To see why, let's look at Forrest Pritchard, a successful, sustainable farmer in the Blue Ridge Mountains. When Pritchard took over his family's farm, they made their own hay using a piece of machinery called a hay baler. Now, if you subscribed to the any benefit approach, keeping the hay baler is a no-brainer. After all, animal feed is necessary, and a hay baler lets you harvest perfectly good grass from your own soil for free. Surely there's a benefit, right? But Pritchard used a much smarter approach. He didn't just look at the minor benefits, he looked at the total costs, too. He calculated the fuel, the repairs, the taxes, and the storage. But most importantly, he looked at his time. He realized that spending all summer making hay had massive opportunity costs. It prevented him from raising meat chickens, which generated immediate cash flow and produced manure to enrich the fields. Driving the heavy machinery also compacted the soil, damaging its long-term fertility. So Pritchard focused on what mattered most to his farm: healthy, fertile soil. Because buying hay from outside actually resulted in healthier fields and more profitable operations, he sold the hay baler. Cal Newport calls this the craftsman approach to tool selection. You only keep a tool if its positive impacts on what matters most to you substantially outweigh its negative impacts. You need to do the same with your digital tools. But first, just like the farmer, you need to decide what matters most to you. For Pritchard, it was healthy soil and a profitable farm. For you, it might be doing good work, building your career, spending time with your family, or simply having more control over your day. Once you know that, look at the tools you use. And don't ask, does this app have some minor benefit? Of course it does. Every app on your phone has some benefit. Instead, ask, does this app substantially help me with what matters most to me? Take social media apps, for example. You might keep an app because it helps me stay in touch with old high school friends. That's a benefit. But if using it also costs you hours of your day and makes it harder to focus on the work that pays your bills, you have to look at its full cost. Your ability to focus is one of your most valuable assets. So if an app keeps getting in the way of your focus without substantially helping your goals, its cost is too high. It has to go. That's the craftsman approach. Don't keep a tool just because it does something useful. But why are your tools ruining you, though? Because you have to keep resisting them. According to psychologist Roy Baumeister, willpower behaves much like a muscle. It slowly gets depleted as you use it throughout the day. And this is why the any benefit approach is so dangerous. When you keep a distracting app on your phone, just in case it gives you some minor benefit, you're forcing your brain to resist the urge to use it all day long. For example, if you keep group chat alerts flashing on your screen while trying to study a book or write code, you are draining your willpower just trying to ignore the blinking light. Or if you keep social media apps on your phone because I might miss an industry update, you aren't staying informed. You are forcing your brain to spend its limited willpower resisting the urge to scroll. By the time you actually sit down to do your most important work, you've already spent part of your willpower fighting distractions. So don't spend weeks debating whether a tool is worth keeping. Run a 30-day probation test. Pick one tool. Identify one digital platform or notification setting that only gives you minor, random benefits. Go cold turkey. Turn it off or delete it for 30 days without making any big announcements. The honest check. After 30 days, ask yourself two simple questions. Would my last 30 days have been noticeably better if I had been using this tool? Did anyone actually care or notice that I was gone? If the answer to both is no, you have your answer.